Welcome to Celeb Scene Central. No one makes movies like Astron, 6 alumnus Steven Kostanski, that's not hyperbole. The Canadian renegade behind bold low-budget oddities like Manborg and Psycho Gorman delivers do-it-yourself effects work ranging from gutastic gore to layers of alien makeup applications. The filmmaker's canon hallmarks are cartoonish violence, absurdist humor, and after-midnight appeal, which makes Frankie Freako somewhat of a departure. It's his Ghoulies or Prehysteria, swapping hard R slopfests for family-friendly mischief as Cabbage Patch Gone Rotten puppets party their butts off in a very 80s sitcom fashion. What is Frankie Freako about? Frequent collaborator Connor Sweeney stars as Connor, the everyman mayor of Squaresville. Connor's boss, Mr. Beekler, Adam Brooks, thinks his boardroom presentations are boring, and his gun-loving wife Christina, Christy Wordsworth, wants more than sensual hand-holding in bed. Connor finds himself in an existential rut, frustrated by his vanilla personality, and that's when a solution presents itself. A televised commercial for a 1-900 party hotline hosted by a lounging goblin thing named Frankie Freako promises to turn dorks into Fonzie. With Christina away for the weekend, Connor dials the number and summons Frankie Freako, Matthew Kennedy, a decision he might regret. Kostanski is indebted to pint-sized creature features like the Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College, Critters, and Puppet Master as much as he is wacky comedies like Drop Dead Fred or Revenge of the Nerds. There's nothing scary about the devil red, purple punk-haired Frankie or his raging crew. Frankie Freako isn't child's play, more an after-school special produced by Troma. Sweeney's performance would belong in an exaggerated satire like Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, where characters are supposed to be self-aware-ish mockeries of cinematic stereotypes. Whereas Kostanski's beloved Psycho Gorman warps family values into a grotesque arrangement of intergalactic bloodshed, Frankie Freako is always served at face value. It's immature, supremely cheesy, and you're supposed to admire its no-budget charisma. The Freakos themselves are a randomized trio of party animals: Carefree Frankie, gunslinging cowgirl Dottie, Meredith Sweeney, and Boink, Adam Brooks, the gadget wizard with the catchphrase, Shabato. They're a ragtag collection of monsters like you pulled Garbage Pail Kids cards at random, with puppetry that reminds of Mandy's Cheddar Goblin, hands move mouths, not animatronic rigs. The puppets always resemble puppets, and that's half the joke, as they inorganically hobble around or are tossed by off-camera crew members to mimic mobility. They're little goofballs who set home alone traps, rigged to firearms, and chug, fart, cola, constantly plucking the lowest hanging fruit. Kostanski's having a blast with his 2-feet-tall Freakos, but audiences searching for something more than home demolition playtime with freaky dolls are rightfully going to be disappointed. Frankie Freako is best when we get more puppets. The first act is a hard sell, focused on Connor's yuppie lifestyle of half cheese, half more cheese pizzas. He's that dull. Sweeney's performance is purposefully ham-fisted and unmistakably cliched for emphasis, but Kostanski has trouble pulling off the film's surreal PSA aesthetic without Frankie present. It's overexerting off-the-wall hopes, even when Frankie's posse starts smashing drywall and spray-painting barely dirty words. It's not until Kostanski starts incorporating additional puppet models and the Freakos' homeworld that Frankie Freako unleashes its incredulous creativity. Until then, Kostanski's script is built around one joke, and that joke threatens to run out of juice. Thankfully, Kostanski's no dummy. Connor is eventually kidnapped along with Frankie and his cohorts and transported to the Freakos' planet. Putty faces get melted. We quickly understand why Frankie had to flee home when the tyrannical Munch became leader, Munchie's callback, and our soda burpin' heroes face a disgusting abomination of a final boss while Connor's dressed in a less revealing Zardoz-esque costume. Kostanski leans on all his trademarks, from meticulously sculpted miniatures to full-body costumes that outshine projects with 10 times the budget, which lifts the inoffensively silly humor as it's edging on expiration. There's a mileage may vary quality about Frankie Freako, and plenty of viewers won't be saved by the cosmic kidnapping. As a lifelong fan of Kostanski's innovative practical effects artistry, it's the swerve I needed, but that's with the context of adoring Psycho Gorman, The Void, and Manborg. Frankie Freako is understatedly ghoulish and is no master of puppets, but flies its freak flag just enough to make for a winning low-lift horror comedy. Kostanski stretches his budget to deliver fun-filled practical effects like always, like a bastard Jim Henson project aimed for House Party meets Gremlins 2 or Small Soldiers. It'll hardly be for everyone and will play best for those with soft spots for 80s so bad they're good romps. Even then, you'll know if you're on Frankie's wavelength within the first few minutes. For better or worse, Kostanski's throwback creature feature wants older horror fans to feel like their childish selves again, as long as their childhoods were filled with Charles Band and Pee Wee Herman.